Mama, mama, lumbe manda, lumbe mao, lumbe manda, lumbe ma, lumbe ye, lumbe ye, lumbe lumbe mo, lumbe mo, abade boko, lumbe mo, abade boko, lumbe mo, abade boko, na ya lumbe. Ewa, wana ewa, ewa, ewa. Kuna wega londe mimo, ya londe manga bade bogo, another bona oga egina, another bona oga egina. Ewa, ana ewa, londe mano namuye, londe mano namuye, londe mano namuye, egina ye, newe abaga egina ye, tono egana. Ana ega na logo garenge, diwa logo go, diwa logo go. Ana ele ngabe mwe, ana ele ngabe mwe. Ya kuna logo miwa, ena we na londe miwa, ya londe ma made ibobo, ya londe ma made ibobo. Ana elo, ana elo, ana elo, ewala, ana ewa, ewala, ewa, ana elo, ela, yena we, tomo miwa, kuno na we, londe miwa. Ya dem panga bate ibobo, ana kwetumo, ana kwetumo, ana kwetumo, ana kwetumo, ana kwetumo. Ana atopanywe, ana atopanywe, ana go atopanyo, malongo na wasanyo, malongo na wasanyo. Sandela ngjuwa ba walongo. Samela ngjuwa ba walongo. Ina ma wale kamo ba kabalu newo. Ewa ana ewa lone manu namiye. Ewa lone manu namiye. Lone manu namiye.
Good afternoon, folks. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. We want to welcome our viewers. Good afternoon, folks. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you so much for joining us here. I'm Alfonso Zian Sort of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. We want to welcome you to this broadcast. Thank you so much for being here. And we will get this program going here very shortly. Just bear with me here. Just hopefully the mic is okay. Just bear with me. Let me make sure. Okay, good evening, good afternoon. I'm Alfonso Z, and so right here from the Diaspora Informative News Network, and let's welcome you to the show here. Okay, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. I'm Alfonso Z and Sort of the Liberia Public Radio 10 Lpr-Tv. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you for joining us this beautiful Sunday afternoon here, and we're going to be having a live range of conversation. Today is in two segments. All of our team, Mr. Mike Dunn is our Liberia Bureau Chief, and Tembe is based in La Côte d'Ivoire, is our La Côte d'Ivoire Bureau Chief. We want to welcome all of you right here this afternoon. And very shortly, we're going to be having the chairman of the Liberian community to refugee camp based in the West African state of the Republic of Liberia. A lot is going on, and most of our followers reach out to us here on LPR, and we want to have the conversation. Welcome to the show. I am Alfonso Zienso. Good afternoons, good evenings, wherever you are. I am Alfonso Zienso of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv right here at the New England Bureau Desk this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Today's program going to be in two segments, but a lot is unfolding despite of the political issues in Liberia, neighboring Ghana as well. Liberian, the fate of Liberian, the uncertainty. Scores of our followers reach out to us here during the course of the week to give us an alert of what was going on. Well, Liberia Public Radio, New England Bureau Chief, we managed to reach out to the embassy near the capital of Accra to no result. Folks there were tight-lipped that the ambassador, in fact, was heading on the camp. What has been the situation? What is the latest? We managed to reach to the camp chairperson who is willing to speak out on the latest. Meanwhile, the information to the news itself did not just only get the attentions of Liberians, but local media institutions in Ghana also, courtesy of Joy FM. This is how Liberians reacted the early dawn demolition exercise by local communities. Let's watch and see it, and very shortly, the chairman will be joining me here. Hopefully it goes all right here, but let's watch and see what unfolded during the week and Liberians' reactions to the demolitions of the Buduburam, which of course I am a direct beneficiary. It's true Buduburam and managed to come to the state, so there's no way that we can overlook and not give this conversation. So let's watch this, and I will be right back.
House and lock door on you say go out. How we go out? Ghana government says should go. No problem will go. But Buddha is closed. How will we go? We'll fly and go? No. We can fly and go. Right now, the government of Ghana saying that the chief have power government. It's true. Because this is Liberia in Ghana. It's not government, it's not chief in Liberia.
I have nowhere to go. If you see anyone parking that way, they are Ghanaians. I'm a refugees. There is 3 sets of refugees that are living on this camp. We have those that they gave the passport to, and they have those that they gave a letter to, and they have those to reply them. So I'm part of those who have to reply UN. So I'm staying here. I have nowhere to go.
That's how we should live, and we're not getting anything from them yet. How can we live today? So what they have, all that you give it out, that you can go. Because if we can give it, we'll stay here in the nose and we'll not leave. Even they break their houses, we'll still be there. When we leave there, the UN will come for us and we can go.
Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe and click on that.
That's it right there. That's some of the reaction there of Liberians following the demolition exercise. Camp Buduburam is a little 27 miles away from the city center of Accra and 44 kilometers away. What it is the situation, so what is the reactions, or what is GOL, that's the government of the Republic of Liberia, doing? We yet to note. We are not, despite of our attempt to get in folks with the Ministry of Information, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and that of the embassy near the capital of Accra. We have not managed up to present to get an official comment in an effort to make the news fair, balanced, and proportionate. And we decided to reach out to Liberians in the camp as well to get their ordeal. What just bear with me. The chairman will be joining me very shortly, and we're going to be having these conversations. This is this image here is some portions of Camp Buduburam. I was in Buduburam myself, 2022 to 2003. Managed to come to the United States. Buduburam, unlike in other camps, there are lots of Liberians went through this process during the heat of the civil crisis. Buduburam, Camp Waterloo, Nigeria, Guinea, Ivory Coast, and all over the place. Well, I believe the chairman is here. I'm just hoping to, once I capture his image, I'm going to be bringing him. Hopefully this work out for us. I'm going to be bringing him, and we will be having this conversation. Mr. Chairman, I'm not saying your image to bring you in on the live screen. If you are following us, wherever you are, just share it. Okay, let's see. The chairman is here. Let me just bring in Chairman Dennis Guion, is the chairman of the Liberian community based in Accra. The former Buduburam camp is joining me live this evening from the West African state of Ghana. Ghana there. Mr. Guion, are you there? Can you elevate your camera a little bit? If you're listening to something else, you want to kind of like tune it down. Mr. Green, are you hearing me? All right, there are two things here. If not, if the video version is a little bit a challenge, then I will go the other way version. Mr. Green, are you there?
Hello?
Yeah. If you're listening to something else, you want to turn it.
Hello?
Elevate your camera a little bit, please. Or you want me to?
Yeah, I'm hearing you now.
Okay. Except the movement there is a little bit kind of. Okay. So let's see here. Let's do it this way. Just bear with me. Let's go the other way around. I know it's the current situations is already dark. So let me just do this here. And hopefully I can have you on the phone. Okay, Mr. Gwen, are you there?
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay, good. So let's do it this way here. What the message is, what is important, not necessarily. We all understand it. Okay, good evening, and I thank you for honoring our invitation here to appear on the Liberia Public Radio. I am a direct beneficiary, occupant formerly of Camp Buduburam, as we all used to call it. But the situation in the last week has changed, and we decided to make a follow-up after some of the folks that lives on the camp reached out to us here. So, by the way, just call your name, introduce yourself, and we'll get right down to the business.
I'm Dennis Guion, chairman of the Liberian community at Buduburam.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much. You know, it's already evening hour. We don't know how the situation looks like here, but bring up to speed here. We did hear during the course of the week that early dawn to demolition exercise went through Camp Buduburam, and we talked to people. We saw some of the videos, the images coming from there. Local news outlets carried that. I also listened to an interview that you have with a sister network here. But bring up to speed. What is the current situation in Camp Buduburam? Is the camp still alive, or what is going on?
As we speak now, it's up to 75%.
Mm-hmm.
You got me right?
Yeah. We will manage it. I mean, the internet is kind of there. Yeah, you say as we speak now, the camp is what?
I've been demolished up to 70%, and my information this evening will continue tomorrow morning up to zone 8, zone 9, and zone 10.
So what we are hearing from you, 70% or 79% of the camp is already gone.
Sure. 71% of the camp are gone already, because you are demolished zone 1, zone 4, zone 6, you have the zone 8, zone 9, and 10.
So how this came into place, and we're going to try to make it fair, balanced, and proportionate, and have an honest conversation here. Was there any conversation prior to this action being taken here with respect to Liberians leaving? What do we need to know that you think that we don't know, or the public needs to know?
The issue about the recent demolition, which started on the 27th of February, they were unannounced. 2021, there was notice issue that the camp will be demolished. So we went into dialogue with these people and said, okay, no, we're going to put a halt to it. So the Liberian government intervened. They came and even registered people that were willing to go back home. They went back to Liberia. We were expecting that they didn't come back to Ghana to take these people. But for this one, nobody is in the know. It was early morning, 4 a.m. in the morning, the caterpillar was around here and it begins to carry on the operation. People were even sleeping. They lost almost everything they had.
So you are telling us there was no formal communication, there was no formal conversation held with the leadership of the camp. Out of the sudden, bulldozers arrived early dawn on the camp. Is that what you're saying?
Sure. There was no communication, there was no negotiation, there was no meeting held between we and the traditional council of here, of Gomua Fete.
It is also clear that the activities of UNHCR, the institution, the UN arm responsible for refugee, seized down or brought the camp to a closure. So then what was the understandings of Liberian refugees still remaining there? The government of Liberia, this same proxy and all of that. So then what was the understanding? Was it an integration process or what was it really?
You see, some of the informations are not true. But what the Ghana Refugee Board Secretary said at the party when we were on air yesterday, he said 2012, the camp was shut down. But then you were able to give the refugees the passport 2014, reconcile the statement. And you didn't stop that far. You came by 2019 to go and renew their passport. As we speak, you have the Refugee Board offices here. So if the camp is closed, then where is the SLV of your office still here? Besides that, starting the integrated people that you accept to be in Ghana, you still have refugees that are still here, which you want to take to the Western region right now. The issues, after they issued the passport to the refugees here, in fact, they gave a Liberian passport, and we don't know the agreement between they and Liberian government. That was then Ellen government, a tripartite. The document to that, it has to be traced. We don't know what that document is. Thank God that the Unity Party have come back to office. You gave a passport to be integrated in Ghana, and within that passport, you got that no job opportunity and business for you is permitted. We are arguing that over the over. We have that on the BBC and VOA, and they admitted that they made a mistake. They want to rectify those mistakes, and nothing like that will rectify. Now you're asking them to leave Buduburam to go elsewhere. How are they going to survive? These are some of the arguments we've been having. And the Liberian government came to listen to the story, and they understood what the problem was. So people look at those things, look, we will go back home. They will want to even register people to go back. And people are willing to go back home. But the Liberian government come back to pick their citizens to go.
So why didn't you?
27th of February.
So why didn't you, the government of Liberia, we have to be a little bit magnanimous. We understand the situation. Like I said, I am also a direct beneficiary. Live on the camp there for a year before coming to the States. They received all here. So what did the government of Liberia also, do you think, I'm quite sure there was some sort of formal communication with the government of Liberia, like you alluded with the Helen Johnson Sally, the George we are now, Joseph Boyka is there. Do you think, or have you heard anything, was there any prior communication to this sitting government prior to the actions of the locals?
When President we are took over, when we have the first notice that have to do with 2021, when the ministers came here, head of delegate Jim Azwa came here, these are some of the questions that I asked them. There was a tripartite agreement between the Liberian government, Ghana government, and UNHCR, and we are yet to get a copy of that agreement. So we explained those things, but the director of Lpr-Tv said, then tell us there was no turnover note. So as we speak, we have no document to that. So we don't even know what was part of the agreement. And the passport came.
So who
begins to ask, why will you bring the Liberian passport and say it was agreement? So we don't even know the agreement up to this person. the Liberian government have with the Ghana government.
So hold on one second. When you say agreement, who was the Judah in this case here? Is it a government of, because it is a responsibility of the government of Liberia to also to make sure their citizens, whatever they are protected, and to have those sort of conversation with the counterpart, that is the Ghanaian government or the authority or Lpr-Tv. Why did the government of Liberia did not come out to you guys, and why you guys didn't go to do a follow-up on all of these things to get us to be where we are now?
Look, for us here, we are blaming our government, and there are lot of follow-up we have been doing. And like I just said, just the past government came here, Edda Badima came here, and I brought this issue up. There was an agreement between the Liberian government, UNHCR, and Ghana government. Where are those documents? And the director told me he didn't have any copies. There was no turnover, no. The priest didn't give me any document. So as we speak, we don't even know what was the agreement. Now, let me be aside. The Ghanaian government encouraged Liberian refugees to be integrated in Ghana, which we accepted to be. But then, although on the supply, you get all the passport, resident permit in our passport, say you can do work, you can do business. Meaning that if you live in Buduburam, camp to go outside Buduburam, you can do no business there. You can't even work, there's no work permit there. Those issues came about, and we called the Liberian government, one of what we explained to them. They even went back to the Ghanaian counterpart, and they admitted that these things were wrong, and up to now, they're not rectifying those things. Now, the second thing was that when they came here, the Ghanaian government was to go back to Monrovia for them to finalize the roadmap. The Ghanaian government refused to go to Monrovia, and there was no action taken by the Liberian government.
No action, sir. This is a complete obituary announcement or obituary after the game here now. What is the situation right now? We also try from LPR to reach out to the embassy. People that would talk, there were junior officers that the ambassador was in Iran. In fact, he was heading to the camp. So let me just validate this information. At any point in time, since this whole process started, did the ambassador near the capital of Ghana from Liberia ever visited Buduburam camp?
Well, he came on the camp at the time I was arrested to the police head office. So at the headquarters in Pentecost. So he would call me on the phone that you were on the camp. But back then I was on the police custody.
Did I hear you say you were arrested?
Yeah, I was arrested on
So what were the charges brought against you? Arrested for what?
They came up with 3 different charges which the police dismissed. First was that why I entered Buduburam school with the people how they demolished to move there. I broke into and I said, no, I didn't go into there. I seek permission. I met the headmistress of the school. And 2, the school was built by, if you demolish it, I was further automatically have to go there. We also thinking that you would demolish the same place. The second charge was like, I posted like UN, workers in Ghana. The third one was he insulted the chief on air. And I said, the chief and myself were on the top show. He also came up to say things about Liberia that was not true. You can look in my face, but we are on Zoom all talking and say, you demolish the camp because they are prostitutes on the camp, they are armed robbers on the camp. And I said, you're too big to be a liar because you have no proof to that.
I actually monitor that interview.
Which authority are you using to say that we are armed robbers? Let's check all of the police stations around here, whether you have a record of being armed robber. And then check from B Apple up to the end. Those guys that are on the street, and that if you get a one Liberia, they jail me. So after the police went through the investigation, they said, you are not committed any crime. If the minister wants you to be detained, let him come for you, came to your house. That's how I was released.
So the bottom line now, what is the government of the Republic of Liberia? And I know this is not something we wish to see happening, but the process has already started. And I don't see, based on some of the information, interviews from local stations in Ghana, there seems to be that they are not going to be holding back. That camp going to be brought down. What becomes of thousands of Liberians still there? Approximately, do you know how many Liberians still in Camp Buduburam?
Per the record that I have right now, we are over 13,000 plus registered.
13,000.
Yeah, but 13,000, the 4 centers we have now, the display center here, but 13,000 people registered. And we are still continuing tomorrow. So we expect the number to increase.
So those places that were demolished, where are those refugees? Where are they right now?
That's what I'm saying. We have 4 displaced area here. Crida Church, at the camp managers and the Buduburam school, and other people are moving to refugee Baptist.
I've been talking to people, and I know we've been exchanging text messages here and there, but I've been told by other refugees that even the schools, the churches are no safe haven. They will eventually go there. If that happens, what becomes the fate of those Liberians? What is the government is doing? Your government, our government, what are they doing right now?
I spoke to one of the guys from the Lpr-Tv, one Charles Graham. That was on Friday, and he said we're going to meet him. After the meeting, we're going to get back to me. Up to now, you're not getting back to me.
The ambassador.
I called the ambassador, and the ambassador said he has informed the foreign ministry already. They are going to get back to us. So we are waiting to hear from them. But so now, there will no response from the government of Poland abroad.
But they are aware of what is going, because everything is on the social media.
The ambassador told me that the president is aware.
So you as a chairman, has there been any form of direct communication, nothing of yet from Morovia to say, look, Mr. Chairman, tell our people this is what, has there been any form of communication, be a telephone conversation from any higher up from Liberia?
No.
So this is a convoluted
one. The
one.
only person that I'm talking to, yes, the ambassadors in Ghana I'm talking to.
It's a convoluted case here. We were also monitoring the integration process. UNHCR came in, your government were represented, the Ghanaian authority were represented, there were compensation for the integration process. We also hearing people went to Liberia and came back. Is that true?
I don't have information on that. I don't have anybody on records on that, except they can prove that. But as of now, I don't have any record on that.
But people compensated to return to Liberia following the official
closure. People went on repatriations, and I know they are there.
When you say they are there where? Still in Ghana or in Liberia?
In Liberia. What I'm saying, I don't have any record of people returning from Liberia here. Those that are here, there are three categories of people that are here. You got the integrated people, you got the one they call the susceptible, which are still refugee, and you got people who they dismissed. I thought Ghana refugee people dismissed, and they're still here without any document.
So are you saying people were integrated? Because I know there is some sort of cut-off period with the United Nations, depending how the situation. There have been 3 successive elections in Liberia, 3 governments. This is the third one now. So obviously, and I've been monitoring a lot of information, talking to some other Ghanaians, also in the media industry as well. But I just want you to validate this information here. Do you think there's an integration period that you guys in right now?
For me, I don't feel that we are even integrated. And that's how I feel. Because from what I'm seeing for all angles, there's nothing called integration. And with the issue of 3 elections conducted in Liberia, then let's compare with the Togolese that are here too for the camp. Since 1962.
The Togolese at this point in time, Mr. Chairman.
The Togolese are also here.
Yeah, what I'm saying, the Togolese are not facing the problem now. It is our citizens facing the problem. And our understanding, this is a sort of land dispute with the locals, and they have been fighting to gain that land. I do not know the terms and conditions in which the Ghanaian and that of the UNHCR used to accommodate us. I was part of that. I was in Ghana as well. But here we are. The people say they want their land, and we all know election is all coming. So politics is a high into this whole thing as well. Don't you think so?
I believe so, but the issue there is that the government is using the traditional council. So that's where my problem came from the gun Thursday. You said the traditional council, the one that demolished Buduburam camp. You calling me to a meeting, at the same time arresting me with the IG, with the Minister of Interior, with all these guys around. You said you were not part of it. Why now inviting me that people in the school? So it's a plain thing. We all know it's a plain thing.
It's a plain thing. So you as a chairman, if you were privileged to speak with the executive director of Lpr-Tv, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, even the President of the Republic of Liberia, what would be your immediate recommendation to those people?
Well, the first recommendation would be that there are people they even registered to take to Liberia since 2021. And that records are still on their decks. And adding all now with the demolition process, there are a lot of people that are here. So the only thing is to come for this people to carry them as well.
that's the only last option right now for them to return?
Oh, that's the only option right now.
Are you yourself as a chairman willing to abandon this cause to return as well?
Oh, sure.
You have no other option?
No.
Do you and other men in Liberia, do they see themselves, hold themselves responsible? Because it was 2007, I believe UNHCR wrapped its up its stop, and people were requesting for that area, and they were asking people to go, and people say, how can we go? And I know because I was there, we are anticipated of traveling. So it's when somebody telling you to return to your country, it's like sending you in health, which is understandable. But these things were breeding, these red flags were already in the air, and here we are today. Do people who are we partly responsible for what's happening as well?
2007 that I was not informed, but the sensation was involved 2012. The same Ghanaians today that even turning against Liberia was like people who were going around telling Liberia the best options to take in education. But things turn around right now. So Liberians are, willing to go back home. That is the issue I can say. You can't put the blame on them because the same people encourage them. Because if you go through the process, you see them building schools and up for relocation. If you go to Fetet, you will see that they build a school for the man. With the hope that they're going to transfer Liberia to another place where they're going to be. But
if you need a second country of asylum, then that has to go.
Blaming Liberia.
No, what I'm saying, if UNHCR sees down her operation and the integration process is on, and if for any reason you feel insecure to return to your country, which of course you have the right, they're not going to force you, but then that's a different process in Israel where you have to do asylum, and they're going to determine as to whether you qualify for that. That's what I'm saying.
But you see, one of the things that you need to know, thank God that you're in Ghana. There's a barricade between the refugee or the asylum seeker and the UNHCR. You have to go to Ghana Refugee Board. And UN will not deal with you direct without going to Ghana Refugee Board. You can't deal with UN direct without going to Ghana Refugee Board. That is the issue. And Ghana Refugee Board is
Mr. Chairman, that is also applicable in Liberia. When you are a refugee, you have to go through the institution, the Lpr-Tv, which is the autonomous arm of government, that will process. They're going to validate, they're going to authenticate. Here, Alfonso is a refugee, Daniel, Mr. Goa is a refugee of Liberians, all of that. So I think that process is all, it doesn't matter where you go. But do you think our own government, in the past, in the present, whether it was spontaneous, or do they take this thing as an emergency? You talking about what, 13,000? I saw some of the videos, the images, the elderly, sick, handicapped, and all of that there. What becomes of those people? And I've talked to other people who used to live on the camp. They saw this thing coming, and they left the camp. They are now integrated, the Winning Bar, the Kasua, and other places. They saw it coming, and they said, you know what, we, even though we don't want to go to Liberia, but this is where we're going to be going.
I didn't get you clear.
What I'm saying,
other people do what?
What I'm saying, there are some Liberians that initially lived in the camp as itself, but when this whole conversation started, they decided to move out to find themselves being integrated in the different communities within the Ghana community. And there are other people who said they wasn't going, and here we are now having this sort of a conversation.
You see, people moving outside Buduburam in the Ghanaian community was good, but then the burdens were still on the people of Buduburam. What normally happens is that even if you are moved to Kaswa Winneba, every morning immigration will move to your house and asking you for documents. And some of them don't have the money to be regular that will document in the country. They come right back on Buduburam. Everything they are doing that they get referred to Buduburam. Now they are there Buduburam about the money. Let's see for now 1 or 2 years whether they will still be there or whether they will still be calling Buduburam name.
Okay, before I let you go, I have a
you know Kaswa, you have your freedom Buduburam camp, and you say you are in Kaswa. I agree 100%. But when there's a problem, you call. Oh, the people doing me that they now Buduburam camp have been demolished. Let's see whether they can stay in that Kaswa for more than 2 years again or 1 year.
I hate to get into a blame game in this sort of painful situations. Are we partly responsible of what is happening as well?
You agree. Are we partly responsible?
Yes.
No,
if I say we, not necessarily you as a chairman, but as a people, as a country, here we are. These people have been telling us the government, past governments, and here we are now, their citizens are on the run. We don't know what's going to happen. And there's no way that you will continue to stay in that. That's what I'm asking. Are we partly responsible?
We are responsible because the other government will come and say, no, I restart the process, and I don't know where you people are. They will come with their own excuses. So we should hold the government responsible. At least if they are taking action to take 1 or 2 people for that, from the past, then we'll say what they have tried. But nobody are taking for all of the problems that are happening here.
So before we let you go, we'll keep following this conference, this whole thing here. What you see, what could be your prediction in the next coming 2-3 days if nothing is done? If you cannot hear from your government, if there's no immediate intervention, what could possibly happen?
Even started today, we have sick people among us right now. More than 67 persons sick. We are calling all other Liberians who have money to help them. So if we don't get anything from the Liberian government in the next 2 to 3 days, maybe people start dying. That's the next thing I foresee.
People start dying.
Even to get the first food, it's already there. Water.
So besides the residential, the school clinic, are they still standing, or they could possibly follow next?
No, we don't have a clinic here. We have a big hospital at Buduburam. Hospital, I think, a big hospital for the capital people.
Is it operated by the Ghanaian or Liberian or the local?
By the Ghanaian. By the Ghanaian.
So it is glaring to me, literally.
The Liberian operated school that are here, they're even breaking it down.
So like, there's no other options. They are not going to start. There's going to be no turning back.
So.
Well, so there are people listening to you. We just, I know you have been appearing on local channels, and we just want to add our own voice. What would be your immediate appeal now, or direct communication to the government of the Republic of Liberia with respect to the situation unfolding right now in Buduburam?
The first thing that we requested from the government saying yesterday was canopy, because the school didn't fill already, and people are still out here. We need canopies, we need food, we need water, and those that are sick, so that we can take care of them immediately, since nobody have died yet.
Well, you said take care of them. How are you going to take care of them? To get into hospital or what?
We need the embassy intervention to take them to hospital. That's what I mean.
So since the ambassador left, he has not returned. He has not communicated.
No. We've been talking, but you're not returning. You know, the problem with the Liberian embassy outside, you will have to wait for decision from Monrovia. They said they can't act on their own until Monrovia can tell them.
Is it fair to say we want to blame the Ghanaians? The people hosted us for years and years. I mean, I was in Ghana. I went to Sierra Leone. We were there. We modded our own rule. Our own brothers and sisters, they came after all, and hell broke loose. And that's when the Sierra Leonean became bitter. Of course, you can't hold somebody, you can't have somebody on your shoulder, and you begin to stop them. They're going to throw you in the water. Here we are with this whole situation. Is it fair to say that the Ghanaians to hold them responsible, you think?
I hold them responsible. I hold them responsible then. And they know that they are wrong, because the chief said they were wrong of doing what they did, but that's the only way of getting the land. At least inform her. Do
you agree that it's...
But you can't come and demolish somewhere unannounced?
Do you...
So do I say you are right for doing that?
No, but this conversation, Mr. Chairman, it started years back. It's not a sudden... I mean, I am not in support. I wish something else could have been done. But I believe there was a conversation, and our government, they paid deaf ear, or even we also hearing people were compensated, they went and they came back, they got the funding. Whether to be integration is just a transition to allow you to settle. So I don't understand why for us to allow ourselves.
With the peoples of Buduburam repatriation coming back to.
Say it again.
Ghana. They're working one proof. And when the issue of people going to repatriation coming back to Ghana, and I've been asking the government of Ghana, the Ghana refugee people, give me 1%. Because you can't be saying things that you don't have proof.
So the question, let me ask you, was there any...
You don't just say it because you want to say it. You should say things with proof.
Were there any repatriation in the first place? Are you aware you as a... How long...
2012, there was repatriation for a year, and the people go home.
And are you...
So where are they coming from to say the people that have gone home, they are back in Ghana?
What was
so if you know that they are back in Ghana, that is good. Then bring up
so proof. Okay.
That's why he was in Lpr-Tv who returned to Ghana.
Okay, let's make it fair and balanced here. What was the population then, and what is the population now? How many persons were repatriated to Liberia? 2012.
I can't tell you right now because I don't have a record before me, and I don't want to lie on that.
Over 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. You think over 6,000, 2, 3, 4, 5,000 people? You think?
I don't want to see that because
what was the
record now?
What was the population?
So I didn't say something I don't have a proof for.
So what was the population in 2012 of the Liberian refugee then? Do you know?
Oh, yeah, over 40,000.
40,000. And we
40,000.
40. And we are
talking the integration alone. You have over 9,000 people integrated in Ghana. You have people who went on exemption. There are people who they also denied. So the number is huge. You expect the number to be around maybe 14 to 15,000 still.
Well, okay. I know it's late. We just want to add our own voice to this whole thing here as a network and as a people, as a nation. No matter who drops the ball, I think we must give these conversations, and national government should intervene to pool resources and stuff like that. So let me ask you quickly, you as a chairman, if you were to receive a phone call today and the governor of Liberia is saying we are sending buses to have the citizens to return, will you be in the position to channel that message to the rest of the Liberians that are dead and encourage them to return?
Oh, that's my function. I will tell them. And those who are willing to go, they will go. And those who don't want to go, and they'll find a way out. Because right now, Buduburam has no more. So whatsoever message that I received today, my duty is to tell them.
Okay. But telling them to require actions. Will you yourself take that action to say, you know what, I have fight a good fight. I try to do what I'm supposed to do as a leader, but I have reached my water load. This is the day end. I too have to go. What will you be doing? Because they want to be listening. They want to see what the actions of the leader will be doing as well. Because like I played a video, there are some saying they're not going anywhere. I don't know how, but and where they're going to be. So they're not going to provide any temporary shelter, because if they did that, it means that's another corridor they are opening. So I'm not sure, but I hope that we attend to the sick, the elderly, those that are in needs, desperate emergency relief, or as to whether they're going to provide another safe haven. I'm not sure whether that's going to happen. What could be a final message to those that are listening to us here at Liberian, both home and away? What could be a final message to them?
My final message that we are appealing to everybody. Buduburam is on a kind of a tough time right now, and whosoever that can help in your own way, you can help the people here.
When you say help,
to get out of this place.
When you say help, what sort of help you are asking for? What help you are?
I said it from the beginning. I said right now, immediately what we need some canopies, we need food. Before even going to Liberia, you have to eat before you go to Liberia. And right now there is food. People are sleeping outside. We making a little canopy where they will be until we can find a way for them to go.
Okay.
And as we speak tomorrow morning, they're continuing again. So what then becomes of the school building already filled?
Okay. All right. Well, again, we'll do our best. My second guest is here. This is the Liberia Public Radio. We make news fair, balanced, and proportional. Mr. Daniel Goyan is the chairperson of the Liberian community and neighboring Ghana, Buduburam. We all know Buduburam hosted thousands of Liberians. Scores of Liberians during the civil crisis is now reaching its end points as Ghanaians, local, are now beginning the demolitions exercise in the country. It's a painful situation. We'll continue to reach out to the government of Liberia and hear from relevant institutions as well. Mr. Chairman, thank you so much. Please keep us in the loop. If any new thing develop, we will be able to have a sort of a conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you too for having us.
Okay, bye-bye. Okay, I am Alfonso Zia, so this is the Liberia Public Radio. We make it new, fair, balanced, and proportional. My second guest is here. I'll be taking you to United Kingdom. We don't just discuss politics. We visit all segments of Liberia. Let's take a quick break. When I come back, I'm going to be bringing my special guest. Joining me now from UK. I am Alfonso Zia, so stay tuned. Okay, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending your location, where you are. You are on the official news outlets of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. Now we live in the West African state of Ghana, and we're going to be taking you in the West in UK. Madam Abby Anderson is involved in multitudes of roles. There are others who are making impact in Liberia across. What is she really doing and what she hoped to get this point here? Let me bring her in. She's my guest, joining me from United Kingdom. Abby A. Anderson is joining me this evening. I believe it's a little after 8 p.m. in UK, and it is 3:14 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here in the East Coast of the United States. Madam Anderson, good evening and welcome.
Thank you so much. And I want to say thanks to you in studio and also to your many listeners. It is a great opportunity having me tonight on this edition of this broadcast. I am very, very overwhelmed. Thank you.
Very overwhelmed. Let's share that joy, what got you overwhelmed, to the rest of our listening audience and Liberian here. Intro is not my favorite because in the process of introducing people, you tend to leave out some good pieces of information. So that one there, that's not my area. I like to give it out to the guest or the individual, his or herself, to introduce it. Abby A. Anderson, tell us a little bit about yourself, but I know something that is synonymous to your names, organic farm. I don't want to go there, but tell us a little bit here. Who is Abby Anderson?
Right. Thank you so much. And so, my name is Madam Abba A. Anderson. I'm Liberian, born in Liberia, grew up in Liberia, and then had the opportunity to come into Europe, where I have been residing for over 15 years. I'm from the background of agriculture, and I've lived all of my life before coming into Europe in Liberia, where I have seen a lot and I've experienced a lot on the way out. So coming to Europe, I definitely took that as an opportunity to look back and see what I can do as my own contribution to the development of the nation. And I have decided that in my experience, something inside of me stands up, and that is agriculture. I grew so much passion for agriculture, and I've been involved into agriculture for years now. And this is why I am attached to organic. So most often people do not call my last name Anderson, but still they just say Abba Organic, Abba Organic, Abba Organic. And you will see lots of video that even myself just call myself Abba Organic now because it's like the name has resonated in so many, not only the Liberian culture, but I'm talking about Africa at large. So other organic that maybe you have come across before, or the other organic that you have heard about. This is about Ghana, and I'm happy to be here with you tonight.
Okay, we hope to have these sort of conversations as time goes by, and to go much deeper here, because here, let me ask you, this is unusual or strange to me. The question might be ridiculous here, but agriculture, what prompted that decision? Why you decided to go into agriculture? There are other people, I want to be accounting, I want to be playing with money here and there, even though at the end of the day, I'm going, well, I'm not going to take this money here. But you took a different route to sustain country, to make a country, to feed herself, to empower people. So I'm a little bit curious here, how you arrive at this decision.
All right. So we have gone through war, and I will want to put this as my personal experience. And we all know that in the war, there are many people that lost their lives in the hands of bullets. But there are much more people who lost their lives due to hunger. And I had the opportunity of experiencing that aspect. I went through the war. That was in 1990. I went through the Eastern. I went through the September 18. I went through the World War I. I went through the World War II, and I went through the World War III, which was the final war. Since then, we have not had any war like that before. And all of these wars that I went through, I had experience of food shortage that led our community, that led a lot of difficulties in the various community and in the nation. Many things that happened in the 90s would have not happened if only we had sufficient food. I've seen people selling their land, their jewelry, and just name it. But above those all, I had my own experience where I was nearly to my grave. Have it not been someone who had given me a cassava that I ate, that I was able to regain that strength to be able to walk miles where we had no hope, where we were walking to or running to. And all we had at that time, like you experience or you see on the news right now about other countries like Syria and other countries, the greatest thing we look for is how to sustain ourselves. And in that life, after I had a piece of cassava that helped me to live, I had another experience of how I see food and how I think that food contributes to the health and development of not just a nation, but the entire world. And my passion started to go when I then traveled to Europe. And sorry, I have a call. And when I came into Europe, I went into Holland where I saw farming activity escalating. And I see that this is not just about us making farms, but how can we develop farming? It can become an employment for the multitude of Liberians who are yet to get employment.
Okay,
yeah, go ahead.
Let's have a little conversation here. This is quite interesting. That cassava you're talking about, that seems to be the game changer. That pivoted the conversation to get used to do, because it seems to me, what I'm hearing, listening to your tone, that cassava to resuscitate you and give you more courage to do what you are doing now, correct?
Yes. So that cassava was a game changer in my life. And I believe if we have more of those cassava, it can be a game changer to many lives.
So talk to
Okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, So what I'm saying is that at a point where you are broken down, at a point where it is difficult to find, at a point where you have lost hope, and someone walk in, no matter how big the person is or how small the person is, your hope increases. Because why? You have someone that you feel and that understands your situation and that can turn your situation or help you change your situation. And at that point, during the course of the war, there was a massive shortage of food where people were selling even their family, their children, their properties, and leaving everything behind in search of food. And it only took me, a cassava, that helped me to sustain, to be able to survive. And I'm able to talk to you today. Had it not been that I had that cassava, maybe by now you
You
would
will
have
have the
never.
opportunity to tell the story, the narrative you are providing today. In the absence of that cassava, that would have been different conversation.
That would have been a very different conversation. So that cassava now helped me. But now, how can I be able to translate that information to our growing society today? How can I be able to explain to them why this is important? It's what I'm doing.
It's
I
what you're
want
doing.
people, yes.
I know
I want people,
I know it might be a ridiculous question, and sometimes we have to play the devil advocate here, and you're at liberty to plead the fifth. If I ask any question, do you feel uncomfortable to answer that question? Just I like my man Donald Trump here, everything he plead to plead the fifth. But the question now, someone listening there that will say, Abby is in UK and she's talking about agriculture, and they might know what is the impact, what is the effect in Liberia. And we know, and I know, the importance of any nation feeding herself is very, very much significant. The collapse of the Soviet Union today is because they were unable to feed themselves. That's part of the reasons that led to the falling of that great war. Here we are in Liberia. We still can't. Some years ago, other government started with this whole green revolutions, where they wanted the citizen. Part of that is to be a country to sustain herself. We're still bringing in rice, pusawa. We don't want to eat our own rice. What is the impact in Liberia? And if so, what is national government doing to give some sort of subsidy? Have you in the past and now reached out to national government? I know this guy, the other guy, what his name? They are all Armstrong and other folks. I know there are many of you here. Is there sort of unions or group to have to say, hey, this is what we are doing, even though we have different agenda, different background, but we need to take a push to national government to provide subsidy because what you are doing is to make the country to sustain, to feed herself, to be able to say, yes, we are a sovereign nation. If you can't feed yourself, hell no, you are not, because your belly is in the hands of others. Have you reached out to national government? Are they aware of what you are doing?
thank you for that brilliant question. First of all, I will start by addressing the fact that I'm in UK. And I want people to see this as the reason. I live in UK because right now I need to start the entire process financially on my own. I've left from Liberia, from here, UK. I went into Liberia 20, 2019. No, let's just say 2019. I lived in Liberia for 6 months. I started a farm. I reached out to the government. I had the former minister visit my farm.
Which governments? I don't like to leave my audience in doubt. You reach out to the government. We've been having so many governments. We now forget some of them. Which government you're referring to specifically?
I'm talking about the George Weah led government.
Okay.
Right. So, and at that time we had Minister Mogano Flomo. He actually visited my farm. So that's just to say how far I have tried to push it. And made the farm, but with the lack of interest of support, I had to leave the farming to come in because I had put my strength into farming and yet get no support from the state.
Let's do it into
And so
piece.
because of that,
Man, I understand. Let's do it into piecemeal. The minister visited your farm. And what next?
yes,
After visiting the farm, what happens?
they visited the farm and they said to me that, okay, they are in process and things they were going to reach back to me. But since then, he was removed from his position. I've tried the deputy minister. They've called me and we spoke about it and agreed, or they would come back, or they would get back to me. I would call and call and call, no response. I sent text, email, no response. So I just like, okay, this is what it is.
Why do you
That's
think they
my
were not?
dream.
Why do you think they were not responding to you?
Great. When it comes to agriculture in Liberia, I'm not saying in other countries, there are little awareness. And that goes from position to position. We are tied down and buried in a mindset that does not give opportunity to grow easily. And sometimes this leads to the underdevelopment of our nation. I say this because it is fact. I'm not just saying it because I feel like that these are facts. And my dream, I do not hide it. I have a Facebook page that you can go on and you can hear the message. I've established contact within the community where we have farmers in different counties. So these are not information that is, precisely kept. These are information out there. I've reached out to as many that I think who hear and help me in the process. But the return support has yet to come. And I understand why. The reason why I understand why in our nation's history, we have not really gravitated to agriculture as it is. If you check our history from 1847 till now, and before 1847 till now, we have no agricultural industry. That speaks why we do not even have an agricultural union where you say the whole of Liberia, we have a union that has one voice.
So to add to it, it means we do not even have a specific or strategic agenda for agriculture because that ties to the survival of. There's no agenda from what I'm hearing.
Yes, and so when I reach out to influential people, and I bring this dream that okay, I think we can be able to tackle this poverty by bringing farmers together, elevating their skills, inviting in tractors and other support, that would help to boost the agricultural activity. It feels like I'm driving a bomb in the ocean. And because of our lack of knowledge in how best agriculture can be strength for the nation, we do not see the need that, okay, farmers in Liberia can be able to feed the entire country. But we believe that If we send 10,000 to China, India, and the rest of them, the import less, and the basic commodity make us proud citizens. So you see that there is a division in the way we look at things. And that is the reason why when you reach out to a particular individual or people that you think will help the organization, they do not gravitate to that. And you can still see, go into Liberia, send your team. I have reached out to the nation prestigious university, which is the University of Liberia, where I have sent my team and they've done research from the University of Liberia, where you see agricultural department and of electricity. That tells you why our interest in the development of Nigeria lies. Because if the nation's higher institution of agriculture does not even have electricity, how can we be able to feed ourselves even 5 years from now?
Let's take a quick commercial break. This conversation is getting more interesting, so you can get a glass of water. I'm talking to the CEO of a Ghana farm base in UK. We'll be right back.
Do you want to share your events with the world? Why not contact us? We are Liberia Public Radio, LPR. We are the specialists in advertisements, commercials, radio and TV services. We have the professionals that can help you sell your products and provide live coverage of all events, such as weddings, conventions, graduations, reunions, anniversaries, sports, birthdays, baby showers, religious activities, funerals, and many more. Take your phone right now and call any of the following numbers: 682-433-8802, 267-648-6089, 484-786-3337, or 916-533-2048. Our customer service representatives are waiting to take your calls and give you the needed assistance. It is LPR, the home of excellent media services and your friends in business.
Okay, I'm Afonso Zian. So let me bring in my guest. It's the CEO of Organic Farm based in UK, Madam Abby A. Anderson. Am I calling the name the right way?
Abba
A. Anderson. You see that I hate for people to call my name. That's why I want to make sure. My apology. Okay, so yeah, politics everywhere in every society when it comes to food is a greater integer here. So there's no way we can have this sort of conversation without inserting politics, especially when I'm having a conversation. I'm wondering here, is politics involved? Are you part of it? Are you part of any political institutions or affiliate? Because our people get the way of to stigmatize you, because if you are not for them, people don't like to be told what is right. And this is why sometimes people have their own personal differences with this network here. With entertainment, is less to us. MC Carradine, they are there. There are people who can do the entertainment, but we need to be having national to real national conversation, whether you agree or you disagree with me. Because I'm wondering, the government is saying we want to sustain, we want to be self-sufficient in food production, and you have Liberians who are making every effort there should be a provision to sort of subsidize, to give them the courage, to do this. But our people have the tendency of going beyond the borderline. They would prefer not to deal with you, but they would deal with somebody from China, from Burkina Faso, or even, I don't want to sound very condescending, but it is what it is. So having heard the other side of the story, I do not intend to be judgmental, but I have Armstrong here, and this narrative seems to be the same thing over and over. So I'm wondering here, what is the root? Why?
Thank you for that brilliant question. The why is what we are doing now. The why is our nation needs awareness. I think we have schools that we go to. We do businesses. We do management. Do this. We do that. But when it comes to the actual implementation, we have limited skills in there. Until we can educate our people to understand the impact of what it costs us, the multitude of what this costs us, we will remain there. And this is why I do not put any government or an individual at stake. Because why? I believe if they had understood the impact, I don't think they will be doing what they are doing. And I think this out of politics. Looking at this effectively, you realize that until today, we go to Guinea, that is next door to us. We import pepper, we import peanuts, and just name it. We go to Africa, we import. We go to Senegal, we import. But how much do we export? And we know that as business students, we also know that as long as you are taking out and not putting in,
Right.
your report will become zero, or you go minus. So the whole idea of Liberia in the property things, it answers the way we invest. It answers the way we react to investment and the way we see the investment. What do we really want? Tell me, if you look at it logically now, you will see that one person will build a big house, but every person prefers to import from China, the US, and the rest of it. But they still to even buy a tractor that will allow them not only that they will have affordable food, but they will have nutritional food to better their lives. So when you see those reactions, then you know it is the lack of knowledge that will allow you to trade your life and sustainability of someone who is far away from you. So I am prepared to understand, and I know people will say, "Oh, it is unusual." Even that, we are not just looking at government, we are even looking at in the community. When I started this program, when I left from here, I went to Liberia. I had my friends. I told them I'm going to do one. There was something wrong with my brain.
You come from UK, you won't go do fun. Oh my God.
I never even had them. None of them would even go on the farm. The first thing is like, what are you telling me? I thought you're going to say we go to the pub or we go to the bars or go drink something. You are telling me about farm. Why are you going to have a farm? You see? So I have been dealing with this right from the start. I even went to Liberia where I was telling the men about brushing, and they were like, "Woman, don't do farm." You and I easy for a woman to come and tell her to do farm. So with this, I had to graduate from those boundaries where I had to speak to them. Yeah, women don't do farm, but please do this. Let me be the first woman that you have to do this with. So you see that I've a lot of challenges.
Yeah.
And they will even come up with schools of information telling me that, okay, we have done 5 acres, but then when you go and check, it is less than 2 acres.
That's a different
But
thing
I
completely.
have not given up, and I will not give up. The reason here, all of those things, I believe, are meant to strengthen it. And as we progress towards a better Liberia, I'm prepared even more to go through more challenges. Until this information can be recycled, can be understood, can be processed, and then can be delivered, I'm prepared.
I
Some
love
might not
the
even want to accept the fact that this can happen in Liberia. I have given them a lot of countries that this work into, but it will take time, but we will continue. This
I
is
love those sort of I love those combinations of words can be processed and can be delivered. That is what is lacking. And I see the huge disconnect with our society. We don't know our sense of priorities. We would think things can happen. We make comparison to other country, but they do not know the sacrifices involved. There seems to be a sort of frustration, Madam Anderson, doing what you're doing. Will you get tired at some point in time of
no,
this?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think what it does is that it just inspired me more. I believe we have to break the glass ceiling, and those glass ceilings are people
I think
are
it's
letting.
I think it's a word of Jericho now. Glass ceiling say it's easy to break, but I think
Yeah, yeah,
it's a word of
I would
Jericho.
agree with you in that. Like, and you know, until today, have not received any level of help.
Hmm.
So what I went for is what I use. But you know what? I've never gotten tired of using them.
Do you have some
I
employers in
believe
Liberia?
there's some legacy that will stay behind. I believe I'm walking towards this as a sacrifice. And I believe that it will take time, but it will work.
It will take time.
As it's been proven.
You still have that
Yes,
conviction.
yes,
Something will eventually happen.
yes, I am.
Now, there is a new day in Liberia, new day in terms of new government, and they are still getting seated. They are still going through the process of settling down here. Have you tried or will you reach out to them? So what is your anticipation? Do you think this time when somebody goes with you on your farm and not just only going there, but there must be a return call, a positive return call to say, yes, this is what we've been looking for. This is one that we are hoping to work with. Will you reach out to the broadcast administrations of your agenda, to your vision? Do you have employers in Liberia? People working for you there?
Yes, I have employers and I have it, employers that goes already on the field. Matter of fact, I have started registering farmers. So
Farmers.
I'm building a farmers union of Liberia. And this is why it is called the Aba Organic Farm Liberia Farmers Union. So I have connected farmers in almost all the counties. And now we are carrying on a big farmers registration. Why? Because we believe in order to escalate the farming process, we must know what are the target mindset and what are the areas we need to strengthen. So this reasons of joining this union will encourage us to boost their skills and support them in managing because the whole structure has a problem. From the cultivation to the processing, there is a huge break in between. We are tired of farmers just walking and you know, cultivating a land and looking at it statistically in their head and thinking, yes, this one we can plant corn here, the corn will grow.
I
And
guess
there's
game.
no scientific information to say, okay, this is what we have done. These are the reasons why our process of production are continuing to minimize. And we do not think this is working. We want you now to have a land, and we can prove that this is the right seeding, and this is the right time, and this is the right way of planning. You shouldn't just see the thing, okay, play Warsaw. You play Warsaw, you go there, you play Warsaw, or you jump so you play. No, we want to have an
Organized system.
Will work for the team. Back to your question with the one-led government, our president in charge. Prior to his election, he was invited on our Afghanistan Liberia Museum program. It is there, and I will want to encourage everyone to please follow, listen, and listen to the interview I had with him. I had almost a 1 hour interview with him prior to his election. And these are the things we discussed, and I called. I was opportune to ask him what he wants to see in Liberia. How does he, plan to tackle the growing situation in Liberia when it comes to forecasting? How can he estimate the farming process? And he went on and told me a lot. That's why I'm referring people to follow it, because there is all these questions, the answers are there, and I want them to listen to it themselves. In terms of reaching out to him, first of all, he's aware of the Aba Organic Farm, fully aware. Secondly, we look up to him because this is not a governmental institution, but we know that without the private sector, there is no balance in government.
Right.
So we are hopeful that we can work along with him through the Minister of Agriculture. I have called him already, the current Minister of Agriculture.
Oh, you
we
spoke
have
with
to
him?
wait. Yes, the current minister have called him. But just to tell you that we are reaching out to as many. And we know that we need the support of government intervention in actually achieving this goal, both government and international partners. So we are trying our best to have this done. But as they listen to maybe this recalling or others recalling, we are open and willing to work with government.
Okay, so
we all have our different parties, but this is about Liberia right now, and this is all we can do to tackle this problem.
Many people don't like to come here because we hold ourselves accountable, and we hold everyone else accountable, be it politicians, non-politicians. We ask genuine, honest question. President Boyka, he's from a background. We all know agriculture, that seems to be his biggest strength. Everybody have their own strength. And I'm glad that you say you reach out to Dana. Do you see light at the end of this tunnel, considering what his agenda for the country? When we look at his track record, his background, where he came from, do you see, can we forecast there will be a different ball game? And the second portion here, are you willing to open your doors, your farm? I am not saying what you are saying is not true. We like to make the argument and then we promote it. Is your team in Liberia willing to open their doors to LPR, maybe the cameras can roll through your farm so that we can validate and prove what you say?
Yes, 100%. First of all, the Aba Organic Farm Liberia Farmers Union is on a live broadcast. We do everything live, so people know that this is not a monopoly and a secret. The process of the entire farming is not only with us. We are including new farmers. We are reaching out to farmers. We are getting to them and visiting their farms, and all of those information are there. And anytime anyone wants to reach the farmers, they can also see or get in touch with us. In terms of our own farming, we also have our own land, and we have over 200 acres of land that is in the name of the Abba Organic Farm, Liberia Farmers Union. This is board. It's for the Abba Organic Farm. And this process is going to start this year, where we are looking to use that area as a training facility for incoming farmers, as well as a training facility for production. So that's where we have currently.
Okay. We have a tradition here. I know it wasn't part of the arrangement. I hate to cut people unaware of situation, but we always like to engage our audience to give them feedback. What I can tell you, the audience of LPR are very respectful. They don't, in not like places, nobody calls anybody here. They can disagree with us. We disagree with them, but we make sure that we have a civil conversation. If you tell me, say this is not a navy blue, I just need to know the combination why you say it is not navy blue. I see it as a navy blue. Those are the sort of conversation we have. And we will keep having this conversation here as time go by. Let me just put this number here just in case. Who knows, there are other farmer or someone who is also in this area and we want to form sort of a relationship or want to reach out as well. We can get this number. So folks, if you are listening to all, this is 682-433-8802. It's also available to via WhatsApp, just in case you have any questions or input. Is agriculture important? Farm in itself, it shouldn't only be rice. All of the things that we take in to make us to be strong, to make us to be like a nation, you want to call, you can call that number out here, and you can also have, just in case you have one or two questions from Madam Anderson, of course. Then now it's not no CDC Unity Party. We just talking about strictly how to make the year, because sometimes people they get away, and that's where they mistake can fall apart. Because people don't follow instructions, they want to have their way, and people don't have their way on this network here. We drives the agenda. You don't have to agree with you. We don't talk what you want to hear. We talk what you need to hear. That is what lacking in the country, and this is why our country is going the way they are going, because everybody, each one protect his or her own alligator and put a huge defense line, and this is why the country is going. But like we said, we are waiting as a network to work with you. This is what I want to see happening in the country, because people, when they say, well, I want to go into maybe accounting and this and that, but you took a different route. And I know it's a strange thing when you tell somebody living from UK want to do farming, oh, wait, all that time he's staying in United that farm business, they don't know this country. When you see some of those people, the billionaires, the water people, you see their farm, it's huge. I hope our country will come to the point where people will be able to subsidize, give helping hand. This is where I think investment should be, that government can stand in the gap. People, I'm not just talking to anybody, just want to, but they must see that help, they must see that effort. And you and many other people in many, many businesses, it is time to tap into the expertise of those people if we want our country to sustain, to feed herself, and that we can stand as a nation to say, yes, this is a republic. It's just not just only saying we are Liberian, this is a Republic of Liberia. Being a Republic of Liberia is a combination of a lot of things to make society to work for its people and its citizens. So if you have any questions, the number is there, 682-433-8802. And we can take one or two questions. If you have any contribution, something you want to say, just feel free. If not, airplane don't blow horn. You know that, right? Airplane, when the airplane, when you see the India beating, if we were to take off. So just call that number. Other than that, it's getting late on our side in UK, and I'm anticipating some second segment at 7 o'clock here. Strictly today is community. We need to make time to the community. While we await a phone call, let's pretend President Joseph Newman Boyka. Let's disregard whatever conversation here, because politicians are just politicians. When they are not up the hill, the conversation can be smooth, no turbulence in the air. But trust me, when they get there, they have their ear eaters, they have people around them, they will create that wall of Jericho, and that's become a different, because the phone number now will become more basic. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but let's assume the president and folks around the president are listening to this conversation. What would be your direct message to them?
My direct message would be that this is all we have, Liberia. The better we can make Liberia, the better it is for us all. This 2024, the prices of food all around the world are increasing, with many dissatisfaction, as you saw maybe in the news recently. The farmers are complaining from Germany, Holland. I mean, just name it. Farmers are just complaining. And these complaints meant a whole lot to the economy. And if farmers in the West are complaining and leaders are seeking to change policies in place and seeking to improve the well-being of farmers, we should gravitate towards that. It has been proven by our own economy that in the absence of investing in agriculture, Liberia remains poor. And these are facts. As a leader, your strength is to be able to respond to your society's greatest demand. Not all of the demands, but our greatest demand. And this is our greatest demand. Liberia should not only depend on foreign countries for sustainability, but Liberia should turn to what she has for development. And this can give us influence and connect us to even bigger investment. In the absence of this, we will be heading to the bottom box, because there will be inequality. Expectations and hopes will be dashed. But I'm calling on the government and all influential people. This is what we need to do as Liberia. Let us leave behind that dark crisis of poverty. Let us shine a new light. Let us use a new method. And let us see that this work, I'm open to your conversation at any point in time. Come with the little knowledge I have. Come and let's see how best we can get some hope and restore some motivation back in our community. This is Liberia. We love our country, but let us love to invest in the right places to have the right answer and the right result. We can do this. If we are closing down drugs, we must be also empowering our people to a better life. This is the place where we can empower the youth of our community and even the old folk. This is the place we can sit back and reflect on where we came from. And we can now drive through the transformation of a better and a sustainable Liberia. So this is my call to you, our leader. Please help us. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Help us develop this nation using agriculture as a tool for implementation in a greater success. Our plea to you as President of the Republic of Liberia, help us because we are there with you and we will remain committed in developing our nation. Trust us and we will deliver. Thank you so much.
Wow, what a fascinating conversation. LPR always open her arms, not just on the politics. We feel society is incomplete when certain group of people or professionals are left out of the national conversation. And this is why we try to reach out to everybody, whether we agree or disagree. We are not judgmental. We like to people to tell real narrative, real lifetime history. And from what I gather here, the nucleus of this whole thing here, there was something that trickled that get you to be what you are doing and driving you, giving this courage here. That cassava, that piece of cassava, I'm not care the diameter or how big it was in, but that cassava, that whoever gave that was the game changer to turn the whole narrative around to do what you are doing. And I have visited your page. I've seen a lot of videos. I've seen everything, and I will reach out to have this sort of conversations. And you accepted the invitation without precondition, without asking, because most of the people that wanted to do, what a question you will ask. Let me get I can tell you, I can draw a question. Then and remember that Shaman Brown ERTV question. It's fair to have an agenda, but to can't ask you where you need. How old are you? I'm not going to tell myself because we are on an obligation to unleash, to reveal to the people. Librarians are willing to work. What is lacking is the real information. And it's a challenge because the proliferations of information, people, how they get things going now. You go here, you listen to one thing, you come here, you listen to one thing, and all of these things have some sort of mental play out because you listen, you process, and you would act with it. But here we are, we have a country that is so polarized, that is so divided. You have to be a specific certain group of person to go to certain network. When they disagree with you, they don't want to give you a chance to talk. It is just ridiculous. And they want the country to be 100%. And they want the country to, it can be. I can agree with you on everything. You cannot agree with me on everything. But what we can do is for us to sit and sort out those differences, what is applicable now, what is applicable in the next 1 year, in the next 2 years, and we put them together. That's what they call, we may call conference table. You sit around the table. How will we have a developed country? How will we have an agenda when we can't say, I don't want to listen to me, to you, you don't want to listen to me, I want to shut things down. The time of shopping things down the throat of people, that time has passed. Unless we listen, we begin to listen to voices and pick up those positive signals, we will have a better Liberia. I want to thank you so much for taking your time to share this wonderful narrative story, real lifetime story. Hopefully someone down there is listening, and we hope if you reach out to these people, the government, and they begin to give you pushback, do not protect them. Let us know. We will discuss it here because they get a tendency when people even try, they say, oh, nobody reached out. You there, you need to be reaching out. Everybody there literally live on Facebook. You need to be reaching out to see who are meaningful. And it doesn't matter what their own political identity is. As long as they are willing to give to the country and it is in an authentic fashion, I think everyone should be given the opportunity to serve his or her country. You started a good journey, so I want to encourage you, please let us know here at LPR. We hope to get your team in Liberia. Our team is there. And to take a trip, to take a review, so that people will see. Because our people have the tendency of always doubting Thomas. The doubting Thomas is all around. Oh, they get talking. Yes, in UK, there, you look how you make us say, you imagine I get nothing that let your people there. You know, people, and the conspiracy is all over the place, and they know how to curve and put these things together. But for us, we like to give people the opportunity to tell their story. Let me hear it from. We are not judgmental. When I hear it from you, I take you off your word. Unless it is proven different, then you are held accountable. I want to thank you so much for sharing your really touching life history, the piece of cassava. I hope somebody will come up with a coconut. Somebody will come up with something else that really touched that esophagus to change the life story. That's how it looks like. Thank you so much. Any final message before you go?
Thank you so much. And then, yeah, I just want to encourage the listening audience that we all have our own contribution towards the development of our nation. Let us all just help one another, facilitate the support of reaching out to people. And like you rightly said, it is all about us, connecting. You may be good in one aspect, and I'm also might be good in another aspect. But when we collectively put it together, we beautified it and give us the right result. So, despite of our different political agendas, let us now come and hold on together because the time to help and develop our country is now. Liberia needs us now. And in order for us to succeed in helping our nation, we must come together in love, peace, and unity. Stand with us as we stand with you for good. Good night. Thank you.
Thank you so much and have a pleasant evening from UK. Bye-bye. Well, folks, I'm Alfonso Salt of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. The background there is Kiam Buduburam. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm Alfonso Salt of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. We want to thank you so much for sharing your evening, to your afternoon, to your morning, to whatever you are. If this is your first time, this is the Diaspora Informative News Outlet, LPR, Liberia Public Radio. We are found on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and of course our YouTube channel. You can subscribe. You can also send us a message as to how we can enhance and improve the qualities of our broadcasting here. We accommodate suggestions. We're open to be critiqued as well, but don't just say A and walk away. When you say A is wrong, put forward a solution. That's what we believe in. In as much we hold others accountable, we are also liable to be held accountable as well. We are not judgmental on this network here. We give people the opportunity to tell their story, to explain who they are and what they represent. And I will talk to the chairman of the Liberian community or the Liberian refugees in Buduburam. Prior to this conversation, we did reach out to GOL, even the embassy near the capital of Accra. But folks there, there were still tight lips and were told at the time the ambassador has gone on the camp. We'll try to reach out with the government of the Republic of Liberia, the Ministry of Information, all those relevant agencies, Lpr-Tv as well, as long as they are willing to unveil themselves. What we are doing, We as a media institution, not a resistant group. We just serve as a conduit to intercede between the government and its citizens in the terms of news processing. And that's exactly. And in the process of doing that, we are cognizant of the fact that we must be fair, balanced to give each side their side of the story. However, it is at their own volition to accept our invitation and to reject. And this is where the frustration comes in, because the politicians everywhere, not only in Liberia, they have their own outlets. They have their own talking heads, drum studio. They go to where they think their message is going to be channeled. And I think this is wrong. If you are a government official, if you are a public figure, you should make yourself available to critical. Do not be selective. Do not be, this is where I can go and this is where I can message. Because when that happens, this is where people fills in the gap and make the information because your unwillingness to come. So if you have an outlet already that is for you, no need to waste your time. Go somewhere else to win more souls. That's the strategy the politicians yet to know. If LPR is for you, then no need to waste your time. Go to unknown terrains. Let it get your side of the story. So those who are making judgments without giving your day in court, they will have a second thought. Once we do that and have these national conversations in free and fair, and not to shut things in the throat of people, and not just to be judgmental, the falsehood, the subliminal messages, the innuendos, people's grab news and run with it without editor reviewing the news, without station manager knowing what the news is, and the next person take it to radio Gabon numero N. It's the challenge, it is the problem that we are having. But when leaders unveil themselves to the media and answers all of the tough questions, it brings down all of the apprehensions and the make of news, the filling in of gap of news that are lacking. It creates fairness and transparency. Librarians are not that too difficult, but when you begin to hide things and you begin to give excuses as usual, then of course it becomes a hair scratching. What is 4:15 Eastern Standard Time? We hope to be back here this evening. Today is all community. Another community organizations we are hearing will be having a big event in my own ocean state of Rhode Island. Hopefully it keeps in play. Even if not, the analysts will be here this evening to scramble over news making headlines in Liberia. And we hope to reach out to Jeremy Lpr, the official spokesperson of the government of the Republic of Liberia. That is the Minister of Information, all leaders at the Lpr-Tv. You know, they get a saying that's saying there's no babush for a child. I was in Ghana as well, Waterloo, and many of you places to get us to be where we are. Yes, the fight here that camp was auto closed. The activities of the United Nations were seized down. The repatriation exercises were conducted. But here we are. Should we reject them? Should we deny them? Should we say, oh, because they were supposed to come 5, 10 years ago, they didn't come, some went and came back? You know, the reality is, you were there, I was there. To be honest, when you leave, people that left, the situation, we all left our country. Even when your mind here, when they tell you to go on, the question will be, how am I going on? How did you come? So, I mean, I get it. I understand it. Then I say you should go to Burkina Faso or go to Afghanistan. I say go, but I will say how go, because there is something that built in us. You know, everybody tries to get out to be the breadwinner, to, you know, experience different life situation. And so that anticipation is still there. Even if it is not there, that sense of self-denial is still there. Well, tomorrow, if it can happen now, it will happen tomorrow. Some days we will travel. So these people, they are caught in the middle like a piece of cloth between the scissors. Suppose I leave right now and this other program, they say that it's coming a kick off. And those things really happens in real time. So those are the tough decisions people that struggle with. But the fact of the matter here is United Nations has seized down her activities at Camp Buduburam. And we cannot be dishonest to come out to say the Ghanaians are bitter to resentful towards us. No, come on. People took us in to deal with Liberia is a little hell on earth. Both the Cote d'Ivoire, the Ghana, the Guinea, the Sierra Leone. I am not saying they are bad, but we have our own ugly side too. You know what it means for people to host you for 10, 20, 15 years? It poses national security to their country, burden as well. And we all know how politics across not just only Africa, not just only the South region. You see what is playing out here. Immigrant people coming in, the citizen, other people don't want to feed their burden, to feed their problem to them. Those things play out at the national front. So it becomes a consequential decision making. And so sometimes you see the government will back out, and the people who claim to own the land say, well, within these people, when the government comes, the international community, this other group will come in. So they go. But there's no way that the action performed, the demolition exercises that were conducted, it's not in isolation to say that the government of Ghana did not know. And I seriously want to doubt that indeed the government of the Republic of Liberia too were not notified. I listened to the chairman, and up to this time that the leaders, by this time I feel there should be an envoy, an emissary to be dispatched to Ghana to see how things will be stabilized and conduct or pave a way for the smooth process of the return of Liberians still in Ghana. That's my opinion, that's my view as a Liberian. That may be at this time. And I know people will say, well, this other, but that's the responsibility of every government to protect his or her citizens. Why you think here, like Americans leave to go to Iraq, go other places, they know the relationship, but still their citizen goes there. And if there is an issue, trust me, Uncle Sam will still step in. You can't say, oh, we put on traveling a light, don't go to this place, and you went there, so you're on your own. That can happen. So I hope someone who close or who got the ears of the president or, you know, folks that are close to national leadership, I think emissary should be dispatched to Ghana to help to stabilize the situation and to figure out a way that Liberians, there are some that are willing to go. Those who don't want to stay, well, they can be self-integrated. But there's no way that we can ignore it and let it go. Well, time has caught up with us. We want to thank you so much for your time this evening. By God's willing, hopefully we're going to be back here this evening, 7:30. This is what we do. We talk all day. And the reason we do that is to have a better Liberia. And for those of you involved in the process of always protecting your own alligators, it is in your favor, it's fine. When it doesn't go the right way, it's wrong. We must be able to take a holistic approach to national issue, not just what is beneficial to yourself, but to your next neighbor and to the country. And I hope people listen to the chairperson and Madam Abbott Anderson of the organic farm, their passions and things they want to do to Liberia. Until then, folks, have a pleasant evening. Thank you for sharing your Sunday with us here this evening. We'll say happy Sunday. Until then, we'll catch you here by 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we're going to be more political. And the analysts are going to be here. The liberal progressive, the Minnesota politicians, the 1.5% from Atlanta, Georgia, the Kettle, the lifetime Weashin seditions based in Connecticut, the Mojat I got here in my own Ocean State, June Malice. And hopefully our new security analysts will be here. We're going to be taking on a wide range of issues. We saw what happened in Ken George, Grand Cayman County, and all of that. Have a pleasant evening, and I will see you when I see you. Bye-bye.